What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the action figure repair series. This is my last batch of action figures actually. So third video, last batch. I have more that came with the lot, but it's a statue, one more action figure that I don't really want to mess with, and then a diorama. But I'll save more details for that at the end of the video. Today we're going through some Mezco figures and the amazing Yamaguchi Batman and then the Beast Kingdom 89 Batman. I saved these for last because the Mezco ones and the 89 Batman are the ones I'm scared of most. So we're gonna start with just this amazing Yamaguchi Batman. I've already taken him out of the package and I'll skip all of the cape accessories because that's a lot. If you saw the intro, you know I don't want to mess with that. So it looks like his arm just popped off. Looks like this peg split in half, but the connector's not broken, so I think this is an easy fix. So we're gonna clear off this table and we're gonna whip out the hair dryer. Ignore how dirty this hair dryer is. It stays in my garage usually. I use it for drying paint, but also when I need to heat up a figure and I don't want to use water, I'll pull it out. So heat that up for a little bit and then pop this peg straight out. These pegs are really pretty durable, so they usually split like this. Just the peg pops in half like this and you just heat it up and then use some pliers, push it back together. And then he's all fixed. I've been messing with him for a few days. I haven't ever messed with these amazing Yamaguchi figures until I got the Spider-Man, and then I got this guy and I really like him. This one's not as good as the Spider-Man, but he's still pretty good. If you don't have that new Spider-Man though, go pick that up. I love that guy. Alright, next is the Beast Kingdom Batman. I really did not want to mess with this. I gave up on him and then decided to come back and fix him because I didn't want to leave it like that. But his arm broke off at the elbow. You can see the sleeve is just empty there. And the arm and everything's in the box. He is missing one hand. I don't know where that hand went, but he's missing one hand. And it looks like all of these padding parts are just glued on here very lightly. So I just peeled this top part off and rolled up the sleeve. The glue didn't damage the figure. Actually, the glue just rubbed right off. I got the sleeve cleaned off before I applied new glue. But he's not very fun to mess with. And these pad parts are really weird. I don't understand why they did it this way. But looks like the elbow was like a clean snap. There's like a connector elbow piece. I'm gonna use bad terminology most of the video, but this elbow piece is connected and it looks like it just had a clean snap straight across. And so this is where I was like, I didn't want to mess with it, I didn't want to fix it. But finally I came back and pulled it all apart. So these pegs plug into the upper arm and then the forearm, just like that. And the elbow piece connects these two pegs. So you'll see later on, but here's the elbow piece that broke. I just glued it back together so I could get a good reference for sizing on what piece I needed to replace with this. And it didn't hold that. The glue didn't hold, so that wasn't really an option. But I found this arm out of my DC Multiverse box of scrap parts. I think it's a Nightwing New 52. But looks like it matched up pretty well. The size and shape and everything fit pretty well together. The only issue was it was a little bit too thick, so I had to figure out what I was going to do about that. I was really surprised about how well this matched the peg that came on it. And the DC Multiverse one actually felt way more durable. But I just dremeled away, and then when I felt like I was getting close, I hand sanded. And then this is it put back on there. You can see the elbow piece is the one that broke. This is the new one, and you can see how this whole thing goes together. It's like a double peg system. I don't know how to describe this. It's similar to what like 12-inch figures use. So I melted down the extra pegs and then sanded those down just so everything would be flush, because it does have to pop back into the bicep and the forearm. So it was pretty tight at this point, but once I got it back in there, it had loosened up. I guess me messing with it too much had loosened it up, and so you can tell it's kind of loose here. But it all fit together, so that's a bonus, I guess. But after I put the sleeve back down over it, you can see it is pretty loose. I wasn't really happy with it, but I was kind of too far at this point to pull it all back apart and do it again. So I just decided to get him back together. And you can see the arm holds, but it doesn't hold at like a 90-degree bend like the other arm. So I mean, it's on there, it's not gonna break, but it's not tight enough. I think I could have done this better. I should have 3D printed the elbow peg, probably. I didn't know about getting that elbow piece though correct. And I don't think they make replacements for this guy yet. They should, because I think this is a common issue, the elbow breaking. And I could tell why that piece was so thin that it easily could snap at any point. But up next we had the Mezco Catwoman. This one, she doesn't sell for a whole lot online, so I was kind of nervous about fixing this. I don't know how much she's gonna sell for, but the knee was broken, and I'm gonna assume it was the same situation as the Beast Kingdom. So I just heated up this boot, and once I got it heated up enough, I could pop it off that peg there. And then I spent forever trying to get this cloth unglued, and I finally got it unglued, and you can see the peg broke off into the upper leg, and so it's half the peg still in the leg, and the other half is right here in my hand. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill a hole into that peg with just a drill bit that's not too big. I don't want it to tear up the peg, but I want to be able to glue this nail into that peg. Once I glue the nail into that peg, I can heat up the leg and pop it all free. So put a little glue on the nail that I had. This is just a finishing nail. You can get one smaller than this, but this size works pretty well for most action figure stuff. Usually when I use this on it, I mean, it's stronger than the plastic, so you're gonna be good after you get this glued in. But I glued it in, and while I waited for that, I cleared out the broken pieces out of the calf, this like other side of the knee joint. So I just used a sharp X-Acto knife to cut everything out of there to get good sizing. Once I heated up that peg though, after the glue dried, I just popped it straight out. It came out pretty easy. So what I need to do is find a way to connect this back to the knee. So I need to make a new peg here. So I 3D printed kind of like a donut shape to get that back in the knee. And then I just had a hole in the top part that I could glue this peg back in. Here's the 3D design. I don't know if this helps at all. It's kind of hard to explain, but what I did was I put a hole in the top to slide that peg and nail system in that I had pulled out. And then I put a hole through the whole thing to make just a regular hole for a pin. And so once I got everything glued together, I could just slide it in here just like a regular peg. Pretty much any peg. I'm just made a peg. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So once I got that together, I could drill a hole through the knee and put another nail through just to connect everything. This actually worked first attempt. I didn't think my 3D printer would be able to print something this small, but it came out pretty clean. And I drilled crooked, of course. I can never drill straight, but once I got that nail in there, it was pretty much done. I just cut off the excess nail and used my Dremel to smooth out the nail so it doesn't rip the fabric at any point, and it was pretty tight in there already. But I used a thumbtack and some super glue to put into the joint so that way it would tighten up a little bit more. Once you put that in there, you're gonna wanna move this for like 10 to 15 minutes just so it doesn't freeze up. And this is about 15 minutes later. You can see it's way tighter now. Still not as tight as the stock knee after I got it back. Here it is back on, but it's still not as tight as the normal knee. But I mean, it's pretty close. Like, it's gonna be able to hold any pose you put it in. It's not gonna fall that easily compared to like the normal one. So I got the boot back on after I heated it up, and the pants leg, I didn't glue it back. I just left it tucked in there, and it seemed to work pretty well. But you can see that knee is still pretty tight. Not as tight as this one, but it's still pretty tight. And it bends all the same. It is a little bit longer. I think I made the whole peg system a little bit too long, but all you do is lean her a little bit to the side and she's good. Here she is standing on that knee. So you can tell it's gonna hold pretty well, and I was pretty excited about this one. Lastly, we have the Mezco SpiderMan, the Man of Steel edition, the Steel Box edition, whatever you want to call it. But sorry to disappoint you here, but I'm not gonna be able to fix this guy. His cape ripped. You can see right here, it's supposed to be tucked inside of there, and that blue stitch you can see, he has like 2 stitches that hold the cape to the suit to keep it tucked in. I couldn't even get the cape tucked back into the suit, so I'm never going to be able to stitch this correctly. So I think this is a lost cause at this point. What I am going to do though is I'm going to sell off the accessories, and I might end up selling off the body of this guy. I really like the heads. They can go on some multiverse figures, and I think that would look really good. But the accessories here, I don't really need them. I don't have anywhere to display them, so I'm just going to sell them off and try to make a little bit of my money back. So if you want any of these accessories, if you want the Catwoman, the Batman 89, check out my eBay. It should just be Looper Ward on eBay. I'll put it in the description. But these are all on eBay right now. They're on a 10-day auction. I didn't know what to price these guys as. So I'm gonna be out next week, so that's why I put it on a 10-day auction. So if you buy it now, I will not be able to ship. So I just wanted to show off all these accessories and go over, I think I have one more figure, one statue, and one diorama. And I think I'll make one more video just kind of going through those, and we'll talk about how much money I made back, how much money I lost in this whole ordeal. So I'm gonna try to get everything sold before I make that video. So it might be a week or 2, or it might be a month, I'm not sure. But we're gonna try to get everything sold, and we'll do a whole breakdown of what I kept, what I sold, and how much money I made. Also, these light up eyes are really cool. I really like this. But I appreciate y'all watching the whole series. If you've tuned in to every video, or even just 1 or 2, it really helps out a lot. I started this whole project hoping that I could just get these easily turned around and flipped, but this turned into a month-long endeavor. So I really appreciate everybody who's watched on here and on TikTok, and I'll be making more content pretty soon. I think I'm gonna work on some multiverse stuff, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. And like I said, I'll come back around to these probably in a month, and I'll do a breakdown of what I made, what I lost, and where we're at. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.